Good morning, my brothers and sisters, and all my friends. We are beginning our second phase of the evolutionary work. And for the next 90 days, we are going to talk about how we are going to apply the evolutionary fundamentals to our work. And the primary work we are going to focus on is to find the solutions to the problems, to the big problems, dire problems humanity is facing today at the beginning of 21st century. And without addressing to these problems, we won't be able to contribute fruitfully to the evolution of 21st century, in the century of cosmic consciousness, the century of love and compassion, the century of the rule of divine nature of the human being. So we have to strengthen the divine nature of personally individual human being, and then collectively of the whole humankind. So we have to begin with the person, the individual, and then keep on going towards the collective humanity. How we are going to do this? I have personally created my work platform. I have created 2 platforms for my work, for my earth mission. And my earth mission is now well defined, what I want to do, what I need to do, and what I came here to do. So the very first platform of my work, till the last breath now onwards, which I started at the beginning of this century, in the year 2000. On this platform, the number 1 is to explore the wisdom tradition of ancient India, to explore all those cultural and civilizational strengths of this great nation, of this great Vaishnava nation. There is no other nation on earth which has the foundation of its civilization, her civilization, on the Vaishnava bhav, the attitude of universal empathy. And we will need so much of this resource to transform the humanity into divine humanity. We have to strengthen, we have to motivate the humanity to transform, to transcend the animal nature into divine nature. And who could help? The very first resource which we need is universal empathy. And this is very well defined. And this is very much the foundation stone of the Indian civilization, of this great nation. And to explore all the wisdom tradition and all those great teachings which are combined, the great Triveni the great Sangam, the great holy confluence of these three streams of extreme, the experiential knowledge, the experiential wisdom, dedicated to the evolutionary attitude. And that is known as Bharat Vidya. And this Bharat Vidya has three streams. The holy rivers coming together in this holy confluence of Triveni Sangam. With Brahma Vidya to begin with, because without Brahma Vidya, we cannot move on to the next stage of Madhu Vidya. And from Madhu Vidya, we move on to the Mahajan Vidya or Gupta Vidya. The Mahajan Vidya and the Gupta Vidya is the science of creating abundance and prosperity on earth, to create the ecosystem of the economics of abundance, not what is prevalent today, the economics of scarcity. We have to transform the economics of scarcity into the economics of abundance with the help of the science of Gupta Vidya or the Mahajan Vidya, to create the prosperity and progress all over the planet. In ancient times, this great nation was known as Jagadguru. We will explore as we go along why Bharat was, that was the ancient name of this great nation. Bharat was the traditional name, but the wisdom name of Bharat was Bharatverse. That was given by the great science of evolutionary wisdom, Bharat Vidya. And why it is known as Bharatverse is also a great mystery. And we will talk about that. We will also apply the wisdom and science of creating a nation into an automatic system or a automaton of universal peace, progress and prosperity and love and compassion. How could we create that Sudarshan Chakra? The great cycle of 12 months. We will create the whole cycle of wisdom, the great ecosystem of peace, progress and prosperity for one and all. So we will be talking about Bharatverse. We will be talking about the cultural strength and civilizational strengths of India. We will be talking about how India could help humanity and why only India. It is not my arrogance to say that because I'm an Indian, because in this birth I chose to be in India. I'm not a prisoner of any sectarian mentality. I belong to earth. But I came to India, I chose India to learn, to incorporate that wisdom of India in my genome, in my eternal memory continuum of my soul. So we are going to talk about these two platforms, and the very first platform I created for my work, for my future evolutionary work, for my whole life, of my earth mission, is Jagadguru Bharat Punarjagaran Abhiyan. JGBPA. That's the short name of my first platform. And I would like to, before I go, I would like to see this nation in the great high seat of Jagadguru. the great teacher of humanity, because this is only India who could help humanity, who could teach humanity, who could transform humanity, who could tell humanity how to transform into divine human being. And there has been a time in this country where we had this greatest utopian dream of transforming every citizen, every man and woman into Devi Devata. That was the greatest utopian dream. And there had been the time on this holy land when it was so. It's not just a story, a fancy story of science fiction. My dear friends, as it goes, that before India degenerated into a nation of divisions, sectarianism, separatism, casteism, I'm talking before that period, the ancient India, the wisdom India, the great nation of Bharat Vidya, applied Bharat Vidya. So our first platform, I will post my manifesto of JGBPA, Jagadguru Bharat Punarjagaran Abhiyan of my lifetime. And the second one is Divine Earth Century Mission. How this could help, because I don't want to ask India to stay as a glorified nation only for itself. No. But I want to motivate this nation to take the high seat of Jagadguru and help humanity to transcend the animal nature into the divine nature in 21st century. From self-consciousness to the cosmic consciousness. And as it goes, it may look like and it may feel like a little self-aggrandizement or arrogance. But my dear friends, my brothers and sisters, it is not. India was truly, Indian civilization is truly the parent of humanity. And all the humanity are the children of India. A day will come when the science will prove this statement of mine, that all the humanity is children of India. All the nations, all over the globe. And we had this great motto, this great slogan in this nation, that let us transform the humanity towards divine nature. So, my two platforms of my work, these two work platforms, one is dedicated for the regeneration, for the reawakening of this great nation Bharatvarsh, to take the high seat of Jagadguru and help the humanity for 21st century. And this is the universal mandate I'm talking about. We will talk about why India, the great Jagadguru, why India could do this, why nobody else. And just to remind you, we have started doing it in our humble way. And the very first example is the great South Asian satellite we put in the orbit to help our neighbors the countries around us in South Asia, to help the whole humanity. My dear brothers and sisters and all my friends all over the world, please give a thought to this. It is going to create an ecosystem. It is going to promote the communication. It is going to act like a platform for all these nations around India to create an ecosystem of peace, progress and prosperity. India did it. India has started doing it because India has that great attitude of universal empathy, the Western power. And this is the greatest example of India to gift a communication satellite. Many nations, you will see as we go along, many nations have followed India and all the wisdom of India, and they have incorporated that wisdom in their systems, but with their filters. Not so open like India, and putting the billboards on Hindu Kush mountain, on Himalayas, Atithi Devo Bhava. That was the spirit of India. Let whole humanity come to us as the divine guest, as the image of God to India. Not raising the Statue of Liberty and choosing, you come. Do you have a degree? Or do you have money to invest? All the filters, they use the same techniques, the mystique power of this wisdom, but in their own way, for their commerce, for their money, for their profits. Yet, India begins in 21st century with the gift of a communication satellite in the orbit, without asking money, and without any strings attached of the World Bank or International Monetary Fund, without any strings attached to that aid, that you scratch my back and I scratch your back. No, just a gift of love and compassion to the people of South Asia, all the countries around. So my dear brothers and sisters, we are going to talk about the great cultural strength and the civilizational strengths of this great nation to take the high seat of Jagadguru, to take the high seat of world teacher and help humanity to transform from animal nature to the divine nature, from human being from a Manav to Dev Manav, Devata. We had done before also, we will do it again also, and we are going to give this perpetual movement to this new chakra, Sudarshan chakra, of peace, progress and prosperity, and the great wheel of Dharma of 21st century. So this is the outline of our work for next 90 days and in future. And this, I will be posting the manifesto of these two work platforms. One is Jagadguru Bharat, Punarjagaran Abhiyan, that's JGBPA, and another one is Divine Earth Sanctuary Mission. So my dear brothers and sisters, and we are going to apply all this knowledge for the benefit of every human being and the benefit of whole humanity on the planet, for the express dream and hope that before we destroy ourselves with the atom bombs, I pray And I hope that we will be able to arrest this global trend of indiscriminate violence, terrible violence, the terrible atmosphere of violence all over the planet. And before we destroy ourselves, I would like to see the humanity turn back to the culture of violence towards the culture of non-violence and the divine human nature. And we have the power and potential. Believe me, my brothers and sisters, we have that power and we could do it. Thank you very much and have a very, very beautiful day. Thanks. Thank you very much.